Okay, from the last video, we were just describing how to describe the restaurant. So again, just make us feel like we're there. And if you want to go into what the menu would make you feel like and what the logo would make you feel like, and keep in mind, you're just learning how to do a creative brief here. In the future, you might write a creative brief just for a logo, or just for a menu, or just for a package design. In this case, you knew when you met with the client that the client had these three goals in mind. So you may as well write it with all of that in mind as you go through it. And now the thing that seems so daunting at first, at least that's what some students tell me, this single-minded summary of the project. Now that you've done all this, should be quite easy. And again, there's two ways to think of this. One is the elevator pitch, where you only have a couple seconds to say what you need to say. Or what if you just, the client called you up on the phone and said, have you had a chance to think about what we've done? Can you just reiterate in a sentence what that is? That would be you combining everything that's in here in one sentence. It wouldn't be nearly as complete as reading the whole brief, obviously, but it's a summation of what's in the brief. If you've ever written a term paper, it would be like your thesis statement. And once you completed all this, it would then be ready to turn in to serve as the outline. Now, having described all of this, if you just for some reason cannot figure out in Word how to get this exact format, and you use, let's say, bullet points, as long as you use 1, 2, 3, 4 staggering levels of bullet points, and since the Roman numerals won't be there, you just put 1 in parentheses prior to this item, and you'd put a Roman numeral 2 in parentheses prior to this item. I will accept that because this is not a writing class, it's not a word class, it's a design class, and I just want you to know how to write a creative brief for this class. Then, having turned in the creative brief outline, you would be ready to move on to the next assignment, which is the creative brief project, where you actually write the creative brief. So you'll have everything that you need after making the outline to write the brief. In fact, writing it is ridiculously easy now at this point because you've done all the research, you put together the outline. Now, you've heard me over the last 2 videos talk a lot about why you are doing the brief. And I've given examples of, you might want to make the logo feel this way or the menu feel like this way. But I was just doing that to give you the big picture of why you will be writing the creative brief, how you will use it with your team. But I do want to emphasize again that in the creative brief itself, you are not giving away any design solutions. It would be more accurate to say that you are summing up the problems, the challenges, whatever you want to refer to them, and what the end goals are, and also making sure that you understand the overall feel that the solution will contain. So getting the client to actually spill their guts, because they may not know what feel they're after, you are kind of helping them there. And a lot of designers will ask for money up front before they write the brief. But all that depends on your relationship with the client, how long you've been in business, how well established you are. So it doesn't really matter for this point, but I'm just kind of giving you some stuff for the future. But in no case are you actually spelling out the solutions, because even if you do get money up front, you're not getting enough that you would want to give away all the solutions and then have them bring in some newbie designer and let them run with it from there. So there's a big difference, and this would just be an example if you were designing a logo for a client, in saying in the creative brief that the logo will feel, and again, this is just example, big difference in saying that the logo will feel hip, energetic, appeal to the X generation, as opposed to saying something like, The logo will be a rectangular that contains 3 branches. Branch number 1 will represent blank of blank. In branch number 2, no, there you're giving away a solution, assuming that you've already put time and thought and effort into coming up with the solution. You are in no way coming up with solutions yet at this point. So all that is left now is just to go and make a paragraph out of Roman numeral 1, make a paragraph out of Roman numeral 2, 3, 4, 5, proof it, turn it in, and you're done. I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway just to be sure. You're doing this for your restaurant, right? For the descriptors that you were given for the name that you came up with.